Hey guys, what's up? Good morning. Thank y'all for joining. Good morning. Happy hump day. I can't believe it's already Wednesday, y'all. Oh my God. I cannot believe it's already Wednesday. But let's get into our show because we have one. Hopefully you guys are having a good day so far. I'm busy this morning and I have a 10:30 Zoom meeting. So I got to get moving. All right. So let's get into our show. Hey, Tiff, I see my top flights are here. Truth is in the building. Good morning. Cheryl Williams is here. Vera Dockery is here. Carolyn Johnson is here. Brenda Gorman is here. Belinda Gorman, I'm sorry. Is here. JCD Creations is here. April Pearson is here. Pen Pal is here. Bernadette Clemens is here. Yvette McCovery is here. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. D Nice is here. Sheila Washington is here. My other top flight, Rose, is in the building. Good morning. All right, let's go ahead and get started because everything said in this video is alleged and in my opinion and is used for fair use and entertainment. We have a couple of political topics that I want to get through this morning, okay? Because we don't do politics every day, but when we have some topics that's newsworthy, I'll talk about it. So let's go ahead and get into this first topic. We haven't talked about this person in a very, very long time. Montel Jordan. Y'all remember Montel Jordan used to have his talk show. He's just kind of chilling right now. He used to date Kamala Harris, who ran for president. Okay, y'all know who Kamala Harris is, all right? And he used to date her back in the day, but he has some things to say. So let's get into that. Shout out to Neighborhood Talk. So Montel Williams explains why he believes his ex, Kamala Harris, wouldn't win the presidential election against Donald Trump. He said that anybody out here who thinks that America is going to elect a woman in the next 4 or 5 years, you're crazy. Let's get into it.
I didn't think that it was going to work out. And, we'll see what happens in the future.
We've got to delve into this a little more. Why? Is it because of the public? Is it because of her?
I thought it was because of the public. And
is it because of circumstances in terms of Biden and her and the lateness of when the campaign started?
I think the lateness of the campaign was really what really hurt her. However, I think that, there was a lot of misconception about who she was and who she is. One of the smartest people I think I've ever met in my life. And I give her credit for that. And think that, could she have done a good job? Without a doubt. But I think circumstances and timing were all bad. I didn't think that it was going to work out. We're all bad. For this country to, and people can get as mad at me as you want. Anybody out there who thinks that America is going to elect a woman in the next 4 or 5 years, you are crazy.
Really?
I don't care what woman it is. I'm just going to say that. And, maybe that makes people angry. I could care less if you get angry. I don't think America's ready for that. I don't think America was ready, even though an African-American male was elected. I don't believe America was truly ready for that. We're all bad.
I'll be honest with you. A lot of people did not think that Kamala was going to win because she was, or they didn't really support her because she was a female or because she was a woman trying to be the president. A lot of people aren't ready for a woman to tell them what to do or be led by a woman, right? They feel like those types of positions are strictly for males or men to actually be in or sit in or be able to, run for president. I mean, shit, I would have preferred Kamala over Trump, right? I mean, hell, can I be transparent? I actually voted for Kamala. Hello, I voted for her. I sure the fuck did. I can say it. I voted for Kamala Harris versus Trump because why? Now y'all see, and the same people that say, "Oh, we don't want Kamala in office," but now y'all see Trump is in there fucking it up, and you see now that your vote for Trump was not the best decision. So. It's not always about male or female. It's about who can make the best decision in office, right? Hell, they didn't want Obama in there. He ran twice and won. And I feel like he did an awesome job while he was in there. And shit, I wish he could run a third time, right? But constitutionally, he cannot. It's crazy to me. Other countries have women who run their countries and run those countries well. So it's amazing to me how America how the U.S., how we're so far behind other countries who are just like, hey, women can definitely do what a man can do. in terms of being smart, being able to make great decisions and lead a country. I feel like Kamala, if she would have gotten into office, he just said she's one of the smartest women that he knows. I feel like she could have got in there and did a very good job, minus what Trump is doing right now. I don't feel like we would have been sitting in the middle of a fucking war with Iran that we didn't have to be in, where gas prices and everything are out of control because a person wants to be greedy and debo other countries and take over when that was not necessary. You guys had already had an agreement with Iran. So why go over there and change things and raise tariffs in China and Japan, creating tension in those countries as well? Like, it's stupid as hell. Sometimes men can be just as emotional as women, but women, I think we lead with our heart, and I feel like Kamala would have done a great job had she won the presidency. So yeah, y'all let me know what y'all think about that. Moving on. All right, let's get to Marjorie Taylor Greene. Y'all know she stepped down from her position, okay? Because baby, she knew those Epstein files were coming out. She was saying she didn't agree with the shit, but she was seen on The View. Let's get into it, because when Sunny Hostin called out Marjorie Taylor Greene for comments that she made about Graham Plattner's accuser, child, the claws came out and it got a little nasty. So let's get into it. Shout out to TMZ TV.
Congressman, we were talking before you came out about Graham Plattner and the very serious allegation that he sexually assaulted a woman back in 2021, an allegation he denies. More and more prominent Democrats are calling on him to end his campaign. Should he?
You know, I don't know anything about his policies. I just started learning about him yesterday when I saw this blow up. However, I do know what establishment political hit jobs look like. And I really wish women, when a woman is raped, it's extremely serious. And I stand behind women that are raped. And I ended my political career on that, by the way. And I wish women would come forward. The most important thing a woman can do is come forward and report a rape, not report it years later when someone is running for office.
In a now deleted post, you accuse Plattner's accuser of doing, quote, rape for politics, end quote, stating that she had consensual sex with him years ago.
No, I didn't accuse. I said women should report rape.
Right.
Because
early
you
on.
want to know why? We want to get these rapists off the street.
Early on in the tweet, and I'll tell you, I'm a former sex crimes prosecutor. As they were trying to,
but you're misquoting me. I wish you'd put if you put my deleted tweet.
I think we have it.
We have it.
I posted that because I support women who have been raped or sexually assaulted, and I want them to have justice.
But not if they've had consensual.
Marjorie, I gotta stop you right there, because you support women who have been R-worded and in those types of situations. But you were backing a person who was said to be connected directly to the Epstein files thousands of times in there. And the only reason that you stepped down is because you didn't want your name to be attached to the bullshit that was about to come out. That's the only reason you stepped down. You were scared. Not because you didn't believe in what he was saying, because all this time when the money was still rolling in, you were pro-Trump and everything that he was saying and or doing. So now all of a sudden you advocate for women who have been through that, when you were supporting a whole president who was saying out loud that grab a woman by the ussy and there was nothing wrong with that shit. So you support women. You advocate for women who have been violated by men, and the person that you are supporting said out loud, right? This the same president who, and we just saw this the other day, that left his entire wife in the hospital while she was giving birth to his child to go be with a fucking hooker or a side piece, rather. You support that? You support a president saying, yeah, I don't need permission from a woman to touch her. I just grab them by the ussy. Really? That's amazing.
No. Then secondly, don't wait until they're running for office. We need to know early on.
She was warning the public.
I was warning the public.
No, but this woman is warning.
I'm saying the public needs to be warned, because rapists need to be convicted.
I do want to ask
the
you
woman's
about.
fault.
Why didn't you speak up about Epstein? I'm sure with you working under Trump, with the Epstein files just coming out and them speaking about it, I'm sure, because this shit been going on for quite some time. The public has been made aware of what's going on in the files from what we know so far. And we don't even know everything. But Marjorie, you work for Trump. You guys get firsthand information on this stuff. So I feel like you sat on information of women being violated and you said nothing, because your job and the money that you were getting paid was more important than advocating for the women that you're sitting on this platform today saying that you advocate for. right? Don't tell me you ride or die for me, but then you looking at your check and like, yeah, I need my job. So deal with what you're dealing with over here. I'm sorry that you were, violated, but yeah, I gotta have my job. That's what it gives. And now that you've chosen to step down so you can disconnect yourself from what's to come, all right, because they're still on their ass with these Epstein files. That shit ain't over. Like, don't make it seem like you just here now when that's really not what it is. Let's keep going.
It's not the woman's
Go ahead,
fault.
Alyssa.
Not at all.
Congressman, I want to ask you
Let me get
about
to that.
Just
another.
like it's not Americans with flags in front of their house's fault, and it should not be offensive.
Congressman, I do.
We're out of time. As much as
Y'all should have had me for the whole show.
no.
Congressman, we were talking before you came out.
They're like, yeah, we don't need you for the whole show to see that you're full of shit, girl, right? It don't take 5 minutes, really 5 seconds. But what do y'all think about that? She really tried to overtalk the lady that said she's a prosecutor, honey. She do these types of cases all the time. Like, Marjorie, just because you talk fast don't make you right. Okay? Moving right along, honey. That go for anybody. Just because you talk real fast does not make you right. Let's get into this. Now, we've been talking about, I will continue to talk about until this person gets justice, okay? Let's get into it. This person here has become, a topic of discussion, definitely on my platform. In addition to Karmelo, we're going to keep talking about Karmelo until he gets justice. We're going to be talking about him here in a few minutes. But first, let's get into Nolan Xavier Wells, the young man, 18 years old, who was found unalive when going on a boating excursion, who he was invited by his white friends. Okay, we'll say that. And something happened to him, but all of a sudden his white friends say, we don't remember anything about that evening. And they're not trying to cooperate with police. They have deleted social media accounts, and they have directly disconnected themselves from everything that's going on, and the reason why Nolan is no longer here. They did find his body. His body was identified that it was him. So now we're waiting to see what the autopsy has to say in terms of what happened to him. In the meantime, in between time, his family has obtained legal representation from Ben Crump, from Crispy Crump, honey. They done asked Crispy Crump to get on this fucking case. So Ben Crump's civil rights attorney has been retained, as I told you guys yesterday, by the Wells family, which is Nolan Wells' parents, in their pursuit of seeking justice, answers, and accountability to what happened to Nolan. Let's get into some things of the things. I ain't happy about this because I feel like he just drops the ball too much. I'm still upset with how he stood up there and reassured Shanquilla's family that he was going to get to the bottom of it and get that family justice. And then when it looks like you got to do more paperwork for extradition and all the hard stuff, you pretty much do this with the case and move on to the next easier case that you could jump on, for clout, attention, and to be on TV and stand up there with your little Easter tie on and smiling and shit. Just soaking up all the clout. Everything I feel is clout driven with Ben Crump. I think that you should have stayed on the Shanquilla case since you advocate for our people and getting justice for our people. What about Shanquilla? Her mother cried on your shoulder at a news conference because she misses her daughter, and you assured this lady you were gonna get her justice for her daughter, and you're not even on the case no more. You're not even on the case. You over here on Nolan's case. You over there done attached yourself to Karmelo's case, right? All the highly publicized cases, he want to be a part of it, right? Child. So let's get into some things. All right. So the coroner that's assigned to Nolan Wells' autopsy report that is said to be released tomorrow. That was 15 hours ago. So hopefully we hear something today. All right. His name is Bruce Lynch Jr., who's the coroner. That's the address and information for him. All right. So let's keep going. We're just looking at facts. Shout out to the public opinion court. So next steps for the Wells family, it says that 1, do not rely solely on law enforcement. The Wells family should not depend only on law enforcement to confront the investigation, the evidence, or narrative. The family needs its own independent investigation immediately. I agree. Don't believe everything somebody else have to say, because we see how Karmelo's situation turned out, right? The legal system is not always right. They do not always make the same right decisions. They don't always thoroughly investigate. So definitely make sure you have the right people on the job. Number 2, they have to request an independent autopsy. Number 3, they need to hire an independent investigator. They need to preserve cell phone records and evidence immediately. Number 5, use legal action if necessary. Let's keep going. Number 6, retain a civil rights attorney. Check, which they've done already. We see Ben Crump has been obtained. Dear God. Number 7, bring in advocates and public pressure. Check. Seems like they've done that. Number 8, question every official narrative. Number 9, demand full transparency. Number 10, build an independent timeline. Number 11, do not trust. Do not trust law enforcement. Do not trust judges. Do not trust the DA. Do not trust the friends. We see we can't trust them because they running and hiding now, right? Do not trust their parents because we already see they have also deactivated their social media accounts as well. And everyone has lawyered up. So shout out to the public opinion court for that update on that. So let's keep going. Let's keep going. While we're talking about Nolan, I told you guys yesterday, let me go ahead and drop it into the chat while we're talking about it. I went ahead and put up the information for the GoFundMe for Nolan Wells' family. For those of you that want to give, they are quickly approaching their goal in terms of what they're seeking to raise for him. Let's go ahead and share so y'all can see along with me. Funeral expenses are, funeral expenses are very, very expensive. So their goal is $210K of what they want to raise, as you guys can see in love and memory of Nolan Xavier Wells. They've already raised $200,925. That's impressive. And that's only been up a couple days. So a lot of people are giving. Look, this person gave 2,500 donation. Okay. Yeah. So in love and memory of Nolan Wells, our hearts are broken beyond words. Nolan Xavier Wells was a beloved son, grandson, brother, friend, and teammate whose life touched so many people. His smile, kind heart, and love for others left a lasting impact on everyone who knew him. Okay. And you guys can continue to read all of this at your leisure because I got to move it along. But donations, of course, you guys can see Aaliyah Dennis is who created this. I'm assuming is a family member, but this is the actual GoFundMe for Nolan Wells. So for those of you that want to donate, you can. They are, like I said, they're almost at their goal. They're almost there. So even if it's $1, it's still something. And a lot of people say, well, I don't have a lot to give. $1 and give it from the heart. That means more. Okay. That means more. If you don't have anything to give, don't feel bad because, everybody have their own circumstances, but that's the information for those of you that want to. I wanted to share it with you guys so that y'all can see it. All right, so let's get into this next topic. A woman who was trying to, who's 37 weeks pregnant. Y'all know your doctors usually tell you at certain weeks when you get pregnant that when you start to get closer to the end of your pregnancy, it's not safe to fly. It seems that this woman here from Nigeria, she tried to fly into the U.S. so that she could have her baby on U.S. soil to probably obtain citizenship. So this seems to be the new gag now where women from other countries are impregnated and they try to fly into the U.S. to have their babies on U.S. soil to have citizenship. Let's get into it. 37-week pregnant Nigerian woman is blocked from flying to the U.S. over birthright citizenship concerns. Let's get into it. Shout out to All About the Tea.
No, please don't beg me. She's in an advanced state of pregnancy. It's quite common for pregnant ladies to travel overseas so that they can have the baby in whichever country to automatically get that passport. What's your final destination today?
No, today. Today in London.
Okay.
I'm going to US.
You're going to the US tomorrow, okay? When you went for your American visa, did you tell the visa officer that you were pregnant?
No.
You didn't? No. Okay. Is there any reason why you didn't tell the visa officer that you were pregnant?
It didn't come up.
It didn't come up. Okay, what I'm going to do is...
The woman is only 7 weeks away from giving birth, yet has decided to visit her sister in America, claiming she will return 3 weeks before her due
It says
date.
that you're free to travel. Babies born in the UK don't automatically qualify for a British passport, but babies born in the US do automatically qualify for an American passport. So it's quite common for pregnant ladies to travel overseas so that they can have the baby in whichever country to automatically get that passport.
Sarah is suspicious of the woman's motive for travelling to the US via the UK, but she could also be in breach of airline regulations for travelling whilst pregnant.
When is she due?
5th of June,
When is her return?
16th of May. So she's got 3 weeks between her return date and her due date.
But let me stop it there. And we all know, for those of you that are mothers, just because you have a due date, it doesn't mean that you're going to go into labor on that date, or, unless you're going to be in, or they're going to put you in labor, right? But anything could happen that could trigger her going into labor. Before that, while she's in the UK, she could go into labor while she's there and have the baby there. If she's flying from the UK to the US, which is what she said, she did not inform the people when she was getting her passport that she was even expecting, which kind of raised some red flags to kind of make them think, oh, she's now trying to regain citizenship by having her baby in the US. So basically, had she flown to the US, she could have given birth there and secured what she was trying to secure. I feel like she knew exactly what she was doing at 37 weeks. Most women in 37 weeks, because you were very close to 40 weeks, which is your original time to give birth. Most women are trying to sit down. You got your feet up. You are kind of nesting, kind of waiting until it's time for baby to come. The last place I wanted to be when I was pregnant with my son in the last stages were at the fucking airport, right? I mean, my feet were swollen. My back was hurting. I wanted to sit my ass down, lay down. I didn't want to be in the airport around people, irritated on my feet all fucking day trying to get to a flight. Like, that was the last thing on my mind. But this seems to be a more common thing now. This is not the first post that I've seen where pregnant women from other countries pack suitcases and say, I want to go visit a relative at 37, 38, 39 weeks of pregnancy in hopes of getting to certain countries to have babies there so that they feel that they can obtain citizenship. Let's continue.
Which makes her 37 weeks pregnant, which is over every airline's limit.
The woman is in breach of the airline's policy, but as she has a valid US visa, Sarah must now contact the US Embassy.
Hi, it's Sarah. I'm at the airport at the moment. I just wondered if you could give a call to the American Embassy so that they can check an American visa for me. She's at the airport today and she's in an advanced state of pregnancy. So if you can just give them a call and find out if they're happy with that. And if so, then we can let her travel.
It's minutes before the flight leaves, but whether or not the pregnant woman will be on board is up to the US Embassy.
Right. Okay. All right. I'll do that then. Okay. Thanks very much. All right. Thank you. Bye-bye. Okay. That was the American Embassy and they want to speak to her today.
The flight will be leaving without the pregnant woman. Now Sarah must tell her the news.
So what I've done is I've contacted the visa man and explained your situation. What he'd like to do is can you go back to the embassy here in Lagos, show him all this paperwork, and he'll want to speak to you. I'm sorry, I know it's frustrating, but if you can go back to him, because Madam, no, please don't beg me. Please don't beg me. No, Madam, please don't beg me.
The pregnant woman did not make it to the USA. When she failed to turn up at the American Embassy, her visa was cancelled.
So y'all see exactly what she was trying to do, right? That's unfortunate, but you have to follow protocol because anything could happen while she's on a flight flying. She could go into labor on the flight, and then they would have to take an emergency landing, especially if she's having complications with the birth. Anything could happen. So airlines are not going to take that kind of risk of having that type of situation on their airline. She's too far along, right? Going in and out of, flights. I know how it is when you're going in and out of altitudes. That could trigger you going into labor as well. Anything could happen. I would just not want to fly that close to giving birth. Because even though they give you a due date, it doesn't mean you're going to make it, right? It just doesn't mean you're going to make it to that day. All right, so let's continue. I'm going to save this topic. I'm going to save that and spin the block. All right, let's continue. All right, so we already talked about it. I don't know why I pulled that, y'all. I was rushing this morning. All right, so let's get into this Karmelo news because there is a little update as far as the judge goes. We already talked about the Judge Roach for Carmelo Anthony's case. He is in the middle of being recused. So let's get into why he's being recused. All right. Reason for, they call me Auntie. Shout out to her for this one. Reason for recusal of Judge Roach. It says that why Judge Roach Jr. was recused, the reason used by Anthony's attorneys. All right. So these are straight from attorneys' facts. Number one, they said that post-verdict TV interview. So this judge did a post-verdict TV interview Okay, prior to giving Karmelo Anthony 35 years in prison. It said that Judge Roach gave a post-verdict interview to a local TV station where he publicly endorsed the guilty verdict. So did you already have in your mind that you wanted to give a guilty verdict for this case before hearing all of the evidence that was supposed to be presented in this case? Is giving that you already wanted Karmelo to get to 35 years prior to even, going through the trial, which was very speedy, might I add. Number 2 is written statement to Fox News. So he gave a written statement. He provided a written statement to Fox News defending his courtroom rulings, which we have now found to be out of jurisdiction and all the way wrong. And he was definitely connected to the family as well as the DA, which is a conflict of interest. Number 3, public comments. He declared that Karmelo Anthony received a fair trial, which we did not see that. Comments that make it impossible for him to fairly rule on the defense's post-trial motions. Now, these actions created a public appearance of bias, which is why the defense filed a motion to recuse Judge Roach. So they are looking to snatch his ass up out that robe because he shouldn't be in there anyway. All right. This is one of the most significant post-filings in Karmelo Anthony's case. Isn't asking for a new verdict, it's seeking for a different judge to handle the remaining proceedings. Now, according to the defense, Judge Roach's post-verdict television interview has his written statement for Fox News and his public comments stating that Karmelo received a fair trial, created the appearance that he had already taken a position on issues that are still before the court. He shouldn't have done that. I don't know a judge that's ever done that, but a motion to recuse does not mean does not decide whether Karmelo receives a new trial. It asks whether another judge should decide the pending post-trial motions to ensure the process remains fair and impartial. Okay. This is important development, as you guys can see. Shout out to, they call me auntie on that one. But that is why they are getting him off of this case. And a new judge has been requested through Karmelo's 6 attorneys who are currently covering and or handling his case for the appeal. All right. So we are still waiting to see what new is going to be happening. Something is coming up August the 8th. We're just going to wait to see. All right. In addition to Karmelo's case, let's get into this that's going on with Hunter that I pulled as well. I was combing the internet streets and I found this. All right. So they're saying that according to a newly filed appellate motion, the defense says that they agreed before trial that neither side would introduce character or reputation evidence about the Metcalf twins or Karmelo Anthony. Because of that understanding, the defense says that it did not present evidence regarding the Metcalf twins' character or aggressive behavior, even though it claims that evidence was available. It said that the motion argues that this affected how the defense presented its case and is one of the reasons that it is seeking a new trial. So they didn't even follow protocol. The filing reflects the defense's arguments on appeal, and the appellate court has not ruled on these claims as of yet. I also saw that Hunter and his brother, who was unalived, okay, both of them were actually suspended, I hear, from school. They were at some type of alternative school or something because of the constant issues between the two of them. But I found it to be so strange whenever some of the guys who testified against Karmelo tried to paint that same narrative to say that Karmelo was the problematic child. Karmelo was argumentative with the coaches. Karmelo was a problematic kid, when that's not the case. He's never had any type of reprimand in school with the coaches or none of that, but the Metcalf twins have, and they weren't even supposed to be on school property, I found out. Because they were in a previous fight with another student and they were kicked off campus. So they weren't even supposed to be there that day. Had Austin Metcalf and Hunter not been there at that particular track meet that day, Karmelo would be sitting in prison for 35 years. There wouldn't have been an assault situation. No one would have been stabbed, etc., etc. It wouldn't have been an altercation because you wouldn't have been there, because you weren't supposed to be there, because you had already had a prior incident on school campus where you were told by school authorities that you could not be on campus, but you guys were seen coming on campus on video. So had you not been there, and then you were loud and wrong by telling someone they can't be somewhere when you weren't supposed to be there. So you're telling Karmelo, you can't be here, you're not supposed to be here, but your ass wasn't supposed to be there. Did y'all know that? Did y'all know that Austin Metcalf and Hunter Metcalf were not supposed to be on school property? I found out. on that day because they were suspended from a prior incident on campus. So they was like in an alternative, maybe like an alternative school or program because they had so many incidences prior, and they decided to remove them. So I don't want to hear anybody saying that, oh yeah, Karmelo was so wrong. No, Karmelo was right. And had Austin not been on campus when he was not supposed to be there, he wouldn't be or Karmelo wouldn't be sitting in prison right now. So y'all can look it up. That's real facts. I know I don't tell you no lies. Austin and Hunter weren't even supposed to be on campus. But you didn't hear his father saying any of that, right? When he did his interview and trying to make Karmelo seem like he was just this problematic kid. Your sons, they don't want to talk about how problematic the Metcalf twins are. And they didn't mention that in any of the interviews. And even when their mom was doing an interview on, I think it was TikTok on this panel, she made it seem like, oh, they're crazy for saying that my sons are violent individuals. I mean, they're like any other kid. You know, if somebody says something to them, yes, he's going to use foul language. It goes beyond that. Your sons are bullies, and your sons have definitely put hands on other people. And they decided to do it that day on a campus that they weren't supposed to be at. And it ultimately ended in someone's life being taken. But let's continue. Crew Crime Society, shout out to them. LA Medical Examiner's employees investigated after leaks in the David case. You guys know the David case where, what's the girl's name? I forget it. Hold on. Celeste Rivers. She was unalived allegedly by him, an underage girl who he was said to be dating. She was getting ready to start talking and telling things that was going on in this inappropriate relationship. And he decided that he did not want his career, which he is in the music industry. He did not want his career to be either tainted or lose his career in the industry. So he decided to hush her up by unaliving her. She was found in the trunk of his car in his Tesla. After being there for days in a very, very hot climate, which people started smelling a weird smell, which led police and authorities and investigators to the trunk of his car. He denied knowing how she even got there. And if you guys know how Teslas work, you got to have little special codes and shit to put in there. You can't break into a Tesla. You just can't. It's impossible. But anyway, so we already know now he's been charged with first-degree unaliving in this case, but more than a dozen employees at the Los Angeles County Medical Examiner's Department, including investigators and office staff members, have been ordered to answer questions about whether they viewed law enforcement investigation files without specific authorization. The orders were issued after some media reports included graphic details of the death of Celeste Rivers Hernandez, the 14-year-old girl whom the singer David is accused of unaliving before the autopsy file was officially made public. Celeste's case itself may have led to the inquiry by the County Human Resources Department, which began notifying employees in recent days and weeks that they were required to appear for recorded interviews. Several sources familiar with the probe told NBC Los Angeles NBC4 investigates. The Medical Examiner's Department, commonly known as the coroner, says Monday it does not comment on pending investigations, at which they should not. So several people who were not supposed to be digging in files that they weren't supposed to be digging in. This could violate the case or push it back with information being leaked that should not be leaked to the public while this investigation is currently open. So I don't know why people are doing that when they are in positions like this, but this could definitely be a direct effect of this case going forward. So we'll keep our eyes and ears open on that as well. Let's keep going. All right, so Darrell Williams, which is the father of the missing girl from Big Tigger's wife's daughter, we'll say it that way. So Big Tigger's wife, as you guys know, yesterday was arrested on a warrant for the missing daughter, who Alicia Brown was arrested. She, no one knows where her daughter is. The father was supposed to get full custody of this child, and no one has seen this daughter for over 10 years now. He's been still fighting to find his daughter and get custody of her. And the mother will not tell anyone where she is, but she happened to be out driving around with her kids, and police pulled her over for a missing person warrant for her daughter. So let's get into it, because the father is sitting down doing an interview after the arrest of Alicia Brown. Let's get into the interview right quick.
We wanted to bring Darrell Williams on, as we've been talking about him all day, Joe Claire. He is the father of Aaliyah Brown, who, of course, has been missing for the last 7 years. What happened when you got the call last night? Because, of course, you weren't expecting it. You got a call from the detective, and what did they say to you?
When I got the call, he just basically told me that they had her in custody.
Wow.
and you got a phone call because they had her in custody because of your case, correct?
Yes.
Alicia Brown was taken in on outstanding kidnapping related warrants out of Maryland and by the Fulton County Sheriff's Office on felony charges of interference with child custody. Was Aaliyah Brown in the car with Alicia when she was arrested last night?
So they haven't located Aaliyah yet. They're still, searching and doing the investigation there.
Do you have confidence that Aaliyah physically is okay?
No, she's alive. She's definitely alive. I can confirm that. I've always known that. I've always known pretty much what was going on. To be honest with you, I hated it had to be who they have in custody because that's still her mom. And,
I'm confused because they're saying the girl is now 17. She should be of age to speak unless she has some type of disability or something. I'm not sure what's going on with that. If he knows for a fact that she's alive, how do you know that she's alive if you haven't seen or heard from her since 2004 when this incident occurred, right? I'm trying to figure out how. Is this something that the parents are not telling us? Is it something that the father is not saying that he needs to say? Because if you are in search of your daughter, how do you know that she's alive if you haven't heard from her since then? Where is this girl? And if she's 17, she should be able to speak. Most kids that age are on social media. Have you seen her interacting on social media to know that she is alive? If that's the case, did you send her a message? And in that message, did you ask her where she was and who she's actually with? Whoever is involved in keeping her from her father will also get charges as well, because this is a highly publicized case now. It's on the news. It's on social media. There's no way that whoever has this girl doesn't know that she's being looked for, right? I'm pretty sure that her mother, if she's alive, if Aaliyah is still alive, I'm pretty sure Alicia, the mother, have been reaching out to her and having conversations with her and is refusing to cooperate with authorities in terms of turning her over to her father. So it's something that needs to be said here, because if she's 17, she definitely should be able to talk to someone or the authorities. If she has a phone, most teenagers have phones. It's called 911. Call and say, hey, I'm Alicia, or Aaliyah Brown, the girl that you guys have been looking for. I'm 17. I'm at such and such place. Come and get me. I don't know. Let's continue.
But all of this was for nothing. All of this was for absolutely nothing.
Wow.
I just want to take the time and thank everybody that ever, over this 7-year process, shared the hashtag, Find Aaliyah Brown, anything that you posted about my daughter. It's really because of you all that I'm at this point.
What do you want your daughter to know when she hears this?
I just hope you understand that no matter who this was, they would have treated this same way. You do not just take a child from another parent and go about like it's okay. This is not okay. This is actually against the law. So in time, I hope you can understand that this is the truth, and I'll still miss you. I can't wait to see you. And I just hope you understand everything that might be going on, because I know it's a lot. And I'm sorry that your name is circling around so much for this instead of things that you're actually good at and talented at. But I pray we can just start on a good foot. And I'm waiting, and I'll be here, and I'm willing to go at whatever pace you want to go. I miss my daughter.
My man.
Darrell Williams, I'm so proud of you for.
It's something he's not saying. Again, I feel like something is off here. Again, how can you confirm that she's still alive if you haven't heard from her in years? I feel like maybe you had some type of interaction that you haven't told the public about, because what other way would you be able to confirm that unless you've spoken to her? I wouldn't go by here and say, oh, shit, she's fine. She's such and such place. She's fine. She's actually alive. How do you know that? But anywho, Hart County, Georgia says that according to Fox 5 News Atlanta, an Atlanta woman wanted for kidnapping in Maryland was arrested alongside Interstate 85 in Northeast Georgia. This was on yesterday. They're saying what we know is Alicia Denise Brown, who is 37, of Atlanta. This is Big Tigger's wife, you guys, was taken into custody during a traffic stop. Now, according to the Hart County Sheriff's Office, deputies received an alert about a car traveling north on the interstate. Deputies pulled over the vehicle near exit 177 along with Georgia State Patrol troopers. A woman and 2 young children were taken into custody. No one was injured. They says Aaliyah Brown was not one of the 2 children that was arrested or obtained during the arrest, which we know, okay, or they would have reported that, okay. Of course, we all know that Aaliyah has this outstanding warrant for kidnapping for not turning over the child once child custody was given to the father. We know about that. We know that Alicia Brown, which is the mother, left her daughter in a car for over 10 hours while she was gambling. All right. When the police came up and found the child in the car, freezing cold outside, we talked about this already. She had already wet herself. She had not eaten since early that morning. I think it was like 6:30 that morning. She left her in the car from there to well into the evening. So the child did tell the police she was not okay. Obviously, she was afraid. The mother was seen on video camera leaving the child in the car at such and such time, going into the place to gamble and staying there until a certain time. When she came back out to come and check on the child is when she was arrested. So they are still seeking and trying to find Aaliyah Brown, which is the child. The mother, Alicia Brown, was arrested on yesterday. That was the father of Aaliyah Brown that was speaking in this interview. I'm still trying to figure out how he can confirm that she is alive, though. I'm very interested to know how. All right, let's get into this reality TV portion of the show. We're moving along pretty good. Hopefully we can get through the topics. Let's go. All right, Real Housewives of Atlanta. Let's get into this clip. They'll be back on Sunday. All right, let's get into it. Let's go. Shout out to 7 Bravo. Angela and Portia is having like a little situation.
I want to ask you, at the bank, when you brought up Charles, what was that? Because I did take offense to that.
I didn't hear your husband was spicy. No, I heard something about Charles.
What did you hear about Charles? Let's talk about it.
No, we'll wait.
No. What did you hear about my husband?
I'm sorry. I was actually playing with you. And then I realized, okay, when you got as mad as you did, I was like, she doesn't know me like that. I don't know her like that. Maybe that was not the best joke.
We actually all have degrees in investigation over here. Somebody's gonna come for you in that way.
Where did you get this degree from?
One of my cousins. I have a cousin who has those glasses on the string at all times. You call her, she just put them bitches on, and she will figure it out.
I want to ask you, at the bank, when you brought up Charles.
Portia, this is the second time you don't play with Angela in her face about her husband. Like, no, you're not the person to play with nobody about husbands because you like to steal husbands, right? At the end of the day, the first encounter was when you guys were on the girls' trip, and you mentioned that I should sleep with Charles as a get back or to maybe punish her. That was inappropriate. And then you lied about it when you were confronted to say, no, you never said it, until production rolled tape back and played with closed caption on with you saying it. And then you came back and tried to do a quick apology because you were busted on your lie. Now you're saying, oh, I heard something about Charles, and Charles, I heard that he was very spicy, and I heard this, I heard that, So when she asked you, what did you hear about my husband, and why are you mentioning him? Is, oh, I was just playing with you. Yeah, don't play with me like that, right? Because you don't know me like that to play with me. That's what I would have told her ass. But Portia, get something else to do. She loves to play with people about their husbands, and I just don't think that it's funny. Y'all let me know what you think about that. Moving on. Yeah, my cousin gave me this. Girl, no, don't play with nobody's husband. All right. Let's move it along. I wanted to give you guys the other piece of information too that I had with the case, but shout out to Tia Mowry. Y'all know she's dating a new guy. At one point, she and Corey Hardick, which is her ex-husband, was going to try to work things out. But she's dating this new guy who she seems to be very much so in love with. She's sharing pictures now of the two of them. I think he just had a birthday or something like that. And she is booed up and kissing all on him. And she said that he's very smart, which is one of the things that she likes about him. I was like, is that a dig at Corey to say that your new guy is smarter, got more things going on, and he's popping? He's a nice looking guy. So shout out to Tia for moving on and finding her somebody. Y'all, this is Tia from Tia and Tamara, the twins. So Tia Mowry and her new boo, Javon, I think that's his name, Javon, shares a bulletproof love, child, and her man is letting the world know. They said that Javon shared a carousel of pictures of the couple for Tia's 48th birthday, so it's her birthday, including with her family from their time together. And they said these two are very cute. So let's just go through some pictures right quick of Tia. She's very much in love. She's talked about him in interviews, and she's just gushing. You can just tell when a person is in the new stages of being in love. She was trying to be real secretive in the beginning when people found out she was first dating this guy, but now they're out in public. You can see them holding hands. They're very kissy. And when she's talking about him, she's blushing and she can hardly get it out because she seems to be in love. And he appears to be like really cracking her back real good too. Y'all know when you get that good back crack, honey, you be lost for words, honey. Shit. All right, but let's get into it. This is them. They're cutesy, right? He says, happy birthday, Tia. Bulletproof love with the strong arm. With the 2 crowns, okay. Child, this might be her next husband or something. All right, she's laying on the chest. Okay, look at her. This is that girl. Yes, he is. Yes, girl, he is dusting this thing off over there. That's what this picture is giving. It's giving. He is dusting that little thing off over there, honey. All right. Somebody do a wellness check on Corey, her ex-husband, because he really thought they were gonna get back together, and she still be taking pictures at court, not court, but family events, child, with a hand on his leg, still giving him hope. But child, now she got these pictures out where she is in love, honey, with her new man, and that's them over here, honey. Okay, I ain't mad at it. They look good together. That's that girl. Yes, girl. He was balls deep last night, girl. Yes, let me tell you about it. That's that picture, girl. They FaceTiming each other, so she is in love. I ain't mad. Okay, that's him. That's him. Okay. I think he's like a teacher or something. She talked about a whole lot of things that he does, but she is so enamored with him. I love that for her. So shout out to Tia Mowry, honey, for being in love, and happy belated birthday, baby. Okay. Moving on, girl. Ooh, that's T. It's T. All right. All right. So let me get into. So let's get back into these documents because I started reading you guys the documents with Martell yesterday and Melody's case. I was missing a page, so I got to spin the block to give you guys the rest of that info, right? Yeah, shout out to Tia. I ain't mad, y'all. Anytime you can find some love out there, somebody treating you right and putting a smile on your face and keeping their face in the place. Okay, yeah, I love that for them. Okay, yeah. Let's continue, child. All right, so we started reading these documents yesterday, and I stopped at the end here. So I'm gonna start here where it says wherefore, and then we're gonna go into the last page, okay? And I'm gonna have to wrap it up because I got to do my meeting at 10:30, my Zoom meeting. I got to be on time, and I got to get back into and be corporate and shit. But anywho, wherefore, all right. So this is the case with Mel and Martell. All right, let's go back up. Hold on. All right, document, because I shared with you guys yesterday all of the things, but we're going to start here because if y'all watched my video yesterday, then you know. So wherefore the premises considered the petitioner father respectfully requested the following. All right. Should I have done? Hold on. Hold on, guys. Hold on. Just to get this on. Hold on. Okay, yeah. All right. So I got to put this page up first, just so y'all know what the hell we talking about. I'm like, what the fuck is she talking about? Let's do it right. Let's do it right. Okay. All right. So I'm going to put this page up, then I'm going to go into what's really going on. Because some of you guys may not have watched my video yesterday, so I want to be in order when I talk about this. All right. So I like to do things in order. So let's get the first page at least up so you guys can see. Electronically filed on 7/1/2:03 p.m. That's the docket number 47-DR-2020-900-543.03, Madison County. Deborah Kaiser is the clerk. So in the circuit court of Madison County, Alabama, Melody Rogers, okay, which is a respondent, versus Martell Holt. I'm drinking all this water, which is the petitioner, okay? So this is a verified petition for modification and rule Nisi. All right. We've already talked about all of this stuff. We're not going to go through all of that, but I wanted to show this front page so that you guys will know what we're talking about. This is a modification of what was already ordered. Okay. So I'm going to stop sharing and get into the page that we need to get into. All right. And we're going to start reading from there. So let's start. Y'all pardon me for stopping and starting. I'm just trying to be in order. Okay. Trying to get all this stuff in order. So let's go ahead and read. Then we're going to get to the last page. Then I got to go. All right. So wherefore the premises considered, the petitioner father respectfully requests the following. A is order the respondent mother to appear and show cause why she should not be held in civil and criminal contempt for her failure to comply with this court's order. And I told you guys yesterday, Melody still, I think, has this warrant on her that Martell took out and he knows that she's not turned herself in or answered to the warrant. So he has now filed another motion to force her to come to court and not have her attorney speak for her and not be via Zoom. So he wants her to physically come to court so that maybe they snatch her up and arrest her. This is what he's hoping for, because he is a fuck nigga, right? So B goes into saying that order that the petitioner father be awarded both pendulum light and final hearing, the joint physical and legal custody of the minor children. So Martell wants custody of he and Melody's children once they come back to court, because he says that she is not adhering to rules and regulations that have been ordered through the last motion that was filed. Okay, he's saying she's not paying her portion of what was asked in the courts, that he's paid his portion. Anyway, so C goes on to say the order that Jason Moore, which is supposed to be the security guy, be prohibited from transporting the minor children or being used as a caretaker for the party's minor children. In this same order or motion that was filed, Martell alleges that Jason has been dropping the kids off for visitations on Melody's behalf. He doesn't want him driving the kids or being around the kids at all. Also, he has also mentioned in the same motion that a DHR, which is Child Protective Services order, was placed against Jason for allowing the children to drive on an interstate or on a roadway. Neither of the children have license as of yet. He saw that as being a very dangerous act, so he did report that to Child Protective Services against Jason. So there was some type of case against him through DHR, according to Martell. D goes on to say, let's push it up. D says in order that either party shall make any public statements that disparage, criticize, or discuss the other party, their minor children, or any ongoing court proceedings involving either party. All right, this is Martell's motion that he's asking the courts to order. This is the last page that I didn't get to show you guys yesterday. I had to get that, so let's get into it. E goes on to say that order that judgment to be entered against the respondent mother and in favor of the petitioner father for any unpaid reimbursement of the minor children's extracurricular and medical expenses. And F, order that judgment be entered against the respondent mother and in favor of the petitioner father for attorney's fees and costs related to this matter, and grant unto petitioner father such further and different relief as to which he may be entitled, submitted this first day of July 2026. You guys see here, he signed off, Martell Hope, which is a petitioner, state of Alabama, county of Madison, sworn and subscribed before me on this first day of July 2026, notary republic. That person signed off, Jennifer Basal, which is the notary public, which is who is over this. So that's who signed here, Jennifer Basal. My commission expires 30th of something. She got that doctor's signature, child. A. Lee Daniel, okay. Family law, which I think is who is Martell's attorney, and that's his information here from the Lee Daniel family law. Domestic something attorney, and that just gives his info there. So in retrospect, Martell is asking that Melody shows up to court in person, knowing that she got this warrant. I know what he's trying to do. He's also petitioning that he gets full custody of the kids. He wants physical, legal, any type of custody that he can from the kids. He's also asking that a motion that he filed, okay, a motion that he filed because they had to have a court appearance, that Melody pays for any legal fees, any attorney's fees, any court fees, He wants her to pay all of that. And he wants her to also pay her part of the portion of $10,323.50. And how I just remember that off the top of my head, I don't know. But so he said she owes half of that because he's paid his portion. He says that she did not pay hers. She's not adhering to the custody arrangement, according to Martell. So that's also listed in the motion. We talked about that on yesterday and read it straight from the court documents. But this was the last page that we did not get to see and or finish reading from. What do you guys feel about this? It's definitely retaliation. I see you guys putting it there. Let me go back to the main screen and look at some comments right quick. All right, because that's going to be my last topic, you guys, so I can prepare for my upcoming meeting. Right, he is very bitter. Very, very bitter. Thank you for saying that, Tisha Drew. Yes, honey. Rose says that please don't judge. Okay. D9 says it was mail warrants quashed. I'm not sure. I haven't heard anything about that. I would need to see that in documents. I don't like to do hearsay. So if I find the documents that say it was quashed, then we'll definitely report that over here. But as far as I know, I haven't heard anything. So if she does have a warrant and she comes to court, she could be apprehended, right? Yvette Bell says that I hope the judge put an end to this once and for all. Unfortunately, probably not. Okay. Martell is using the court system to harass Melody, as you guys can see. This is definitely harassment. Like, stop filing motions and then asking for me to pay for the shit. Right? Because you are bitter. Like, this nigga is doing a lot. And especially since she said out loud that she wants to move to Atlanta, he's filing motions, anything he can do to keep her from moving. And if she moves, like, now you're trying to snatch the kids when it's already been proven that you can't even take care of them. Like, you don't have food to feed your kids, but you the first person to pay these fees that you're supposed to pay. I doubt it, Martell. And over $5,000 and something dollars. So you can't afford Chick-fil-A, but you can afford $5,000 and something dollars. Get the fuck out of here, sir. Lies More Lies said that it's definitely retaliation. It is. Overcomer I Am said that Martell needs to get a life and should. Rose says that Martell is an unhinged BAN, and I can't stand it. Right. And people are tired of this shit. It's back and forth to court every other freaking month. Yvette Bell says that I couldn't deal with that at all. That is too much of a BAN and is. Tish Drew, I'm sorry. I hope I said your name right. He said that he's still worried about Jason and is. He's worried about any male that's around Melody, any male figure, even her brother. He didn't even want her brother around her at one point. What's his name? What's her brother's name? I forget. Anyway, Martell didn't even want the brother around, saying that, oh, he's gay and I don't want my son or my kids to be around that type of behavior and I'm raising them differently. When the kids were okay to be around Melody's brother, when you were cool with Melody, when you and Melody were together, y'all were cool. You would come to Marcus, thank you. You would go to his house for barbecues and pool parties, and you didn't have a problem with being around Marcus. You even shook his hand and apologized to him. But now that Melody don't want you no more, it's, oh, I don't want the kids around him because he's gay. Like, Martell, stop it. Said that if she has an attorney, that is who will be speaking for her. Martell doesn't understand legal matters and don't. I have to call you back. I'm live. Lies More Lies says that he wants to do what Ralph did. Yeah, he and Ralph are friends. So I'm pretty sure Ralph is advising him on what to do because Ralph does have the kids right now. He and Drew's kids. He does have like temporary custody of he and Drew's kids, and Drew does have to pay him support. So yeah, I can see Ralph talking to Martell and kind of guiding him on what he needs to do, because it sounds like the same thing that Ralph did to Drew is what Martell is trying to do to Melody. So I can see that. T. Drew says that he needs to worry about coleslaw. He ain't thinking about coleslaw. He don't want coleslaw. Coleslaw is a placeholder until he gets what he really wants, which is Melody to come back. Valerie Rayleigh says that Martell is sick. He just wants Melody to have a mugshot like him to embarrass her. He just wants her arrested. He does. He absolutely does want her arrested. Like he said, yeah, I want you to be here in person, not Zoom and not by your attorneys. Yeah, you want her arrested because you know that warrant is still there. Tiffany said that thanks Kimberly for supporting. Oh, she's modding. All right, let's keep going. Okay. Said I miss everyone, but you know how it is when you are taking care of your parent. Thanks so much, John Jonesland, for being here. Okay. And shout out to you for doing that. Okay. Always take care of your parents, honey, like they took care of you. Y'all laughing. He said speechless. This ain't a new incident. Said that this is an old clip from last year. What y'all talking about? Sound like she took the child somewhere in order to withhold the child from the family. That's absolutely what happened. Y'all talking about the Big Tigger situation with Alicia. Right, you're asking how can he confirm it? Yeah, how can he confirm that she is still alive? I want to know that. I'm definitely going to be fishing for that. How you know that she's still alive, sir? Did you talk to her? Did she write you? Did you see her somewhere? Like what? How do you know that? Let's get one more comment and then I got to end this live, okay? Shout out to Tef, my top flight mod. Said that Mel said that she knows that she's getting a mugshot. She's preparing for it. She did say that? Okay. I know she's been on her Patreon and all of that. So, yeah, I can see her saying that, child. I'm pretty sure she's going to have her good wig on. Her face going to be beat and all that. Because she knows once she gets the mugshot, all the bloggers are going to talk about it. Her picture is going to be up there. So, I would hope she not going to be in her mugshot looking like Sonic the Hedgehog without her makeup and shit done. I hope not. But, hey, y'all know how warrants go, baby. Anywhere you get picked up is how they do it. They don't allow your glam team to come and fix you up before that shit happens, right? But we'll see what happens, child. We'll see what happens. If and when it happens, I'm sure all the bloggers are going to talk about it. And I try to be fair in my commentary. I'm sorry. I got to talk about it. Thank you. I love you, Mel. Nothing against you, but if that shit pops off, I'm gonna have to talk about it and keep my people updated on what's going on. All right, and ain't no hard feelings against nobody. I mean, everybody get it. Marceau, his mugshot was out there recently, a week ago. I talked about that shit. Martell, when he got arrested, I talked about it. When Ariane had her situation, I talked about it. Maurice, when he got arrested for DUI, I talked about it. Destiny went to jail multiple times. We talked about it. So no one is exempt from, you know, having commentary on their situation. So I'll be as nice as I can. But ultimately, I gotta speak my truth. All right. So Yvette Bell says that I thought the last time the judge said not to use the court to use them to child, they're gonna do what the hell they want to do. All right, but that's it, guys. Thank y'all for joining. Okay, I will be responding to all of the I said the haters are waiting for it. They are waiting. Yeah, I know one person is waiting. I ain't saying no name and I ain't trying to start no shit, but I know one person is waiting on that mugshot, honey, so they can get over there and ragtag asses. Okay, I already know that shit. But if and when it happens, all the bloggers, I mean, shit, everybody gonna talk about it. If and when it happens, I'm gonna actually do it to talk about it because it is. I do cover Love and Marriage Huntsville, so it would not be fair for me not to talk about it, right? So yeah, come on over here and get the tea when I get it. So thank you guys for being here. Shout out to my top flights. Y'all said right. Rose Armstead, True TV Podcast, and Tef. Thank you guys for modding and doing an awesome job. Okay. I ain't touching it. I ain't going there. I ain't trying to start no shit. All right. The YouTube streets have been quiet, no drama here for the last few days or so. I want to keep it that way. I ain't trying to be fighting with nobody and cussing nobody out. I don't got time for that shit. So let's keep it cute. And I'm definitely gonna try to stay mute. All right, on that subject. Anyway. But thank y'all. Shout out to the top flights for being here. Shout out to all the mods and everybody for being here as well. I appreciate you guys. Great show. Like up this video and also please share the video. Check me out on all publications under Caramel Rail. All right, love you guys down until the next video. Let's go. All right.
Even when you feel low, you can still go. Even when you feel slow, you can still go. Even when there's no hope, you can still go. I never answer to no, man, I still go. Go, 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 go. Hustle hard, hustle every single day. I'll be making moves till I'm buried in my grave. To the system, I don't wanna be a slave. I've been doing shit my way, or the highway. And in the driveway is a nice range. Cause I grind through the climb, I invite pain. You'll never hear me, bitch, nah, I don't complain. Just gotta flip the switch and you can go and obtain anything you want, anything you need. Your mind's got the key ingredient, it's